Hello. Today we're going to try something that I haven't tried. And I've had half the ingredients, but I haven't had the guts to try it. So today I went and got the rest of the ingredients and I'm going to give it a shot. Today I love Vietnamese food, pho and spring rolls. So I'm going to make my own spring rolls. But it's going to be 90%, well, 80, 70% traditional because I want to make it the way they make it because that's the way I go and eat. But and there's hardly any Vietnamese restaurants around here. There are a couple in Phoenix, but the closest is a Thai. So I live like an hour, 2 hours away from the nearest Vietnamese restaurant. When in Jersey, I lived like 20 minutes or 10 minutes. So plus, I'm just going to learn how to do this stuff on my own. So I had this spring roll skin, the bang trang, and I always had the bean threads slash the mung bean noodles because every now and then I just make them myself with the other noodles. So you're supposed to make this. A lot of times they say you could put anything minced in there, and I usually, like to go traditional. But the problem is most of their recipes call for minced pork. So instead of minced pork, I'm gonna use lean ground chicken, and I'm gonna use shrimp after I clean them. And the big difference is I don't know if I'm going to be able to chop up the shrimp correctly to make it small enough the way you're supposed to do it. So I might utilize my bullet, my food bullet. I'll chop up the shrimp as small as I can because I'm not a great mini chopper. And then I'm going to put it in the bullet casings and mince it up in the bullet. So it's going to take a while because I'm going to take my time. And this is what you put in it. Yeah, you put in some fish sauce, 2 or 3 shallots, an egg, white pepper, not black pepper, a little bit of garlic if you want, a carrot or two, which I suppose to julienne it up. I don't want to mince everything because I want some stuff to be firm in there. So I got a contraption in the closet where I can julienne some of that, or I'll just chop it up close enough. I don't want everything minced in there. And I have some wood ear dried mushrooms in there being reconstituted right now. They've been in there for warm water for about 20, 30 minutes. And that's what happens when you reconstitute a small package like that to in some warm water. So I got a little bit of work to do. Gonna clean these shrimp. The shrimp and the lean ground beef, the lean ground chicken is really not a problem. That's the easiest part. The part is I gotta chop up the mushrooms and I gotta put the bean thread noodles in some warm water for a little bit and then put some cold water, then squeeze all the moisture out of them and cut them up. And the hardest thing is probably going to be I've never really messed with spring roll skin paper before. So it's going to be challenging. And then you got to squeeze all the water out of it. Otherwise, when you fry it, it'll explode because it's got water in it. So it's got tapioca starch and rice starch. And they're really thin. We're going to figure this out. I'll be right back. Okay, I was going to put it in the bullet, the magic bullet. But I'm getting them minced pretty good. I don't want everything to be sealed down like when I'm making chicken and beef liver pate. So I think I'm doing a good enough job where I don't have to put it in the magic bullet. And we'll just keep going on and putting stuff in the bowl from there. That's the ground chicken and working on the shrimp. Had to clean off the cut board and use the rehydrated wood earth mushrooms. Throw out the water, clean the bowl. That's a lot of mushrooms now that have been reconstituted. I'm gonna chop them up and put them in there, and then we'll go for the carrot, and then we'll take care of the bean threads or the glass noodles or the mung bean noodles. There's 3 different names they call them, but whatever one floats your boat. And as usual, I probably got twice as much as they call for, because I can't do that tiny stuff the way they want you to do it. Do it my way, the big way. I'll be back. Okay, up to the shallots now. I know a lot of times I mix scallions and shallots together. Like I forget which one is which. If it's purple, it's a shallot. If it's green, it's a scallion or green onion. So this bowl is getting humongous, boy. I hope I have enough wraps. Okay. I said 2 carrots, but I think I put too much of everything else in there, so I just put 1.5 carrots. Julie and myself. Yeah, that looks like a lot. My rolls are going to be ridiculous size, but that's okay with me. Okay, so time to hydrate the noodles, the glass noodles. And I'm going to put the hot water over them. It doesn't have to be boiling hot. I think I might have actually did do boiling hot. But we'll see. Oops. I'm going to do it for about 2 minutes. So 2 minutes time, we'll come back after 2 minutes, and then I'll dump them in the sink in another bowl with some room temperature water. Okay, I transferred it over from one bowl, the hot bowl, to the another empty bowl, and put some room temperature water in there for a minute or two. Now I'm going to squeeze them out and put them. I'm going to squeeze them out first, and then put them into the bowl. But before I do that, I'm going to dry them out. I got a tea towel, a clean, brand new tea towel, and I'm going to put the noodles in and squeeze them out. There we go. And I need both hands for this, so we're going to stand by. I almost got it all out. Hard to squeeze with one hand, but I'll be back. Okay, now that I got the noodles done, I'm going to cut them up a little so that they fit in the bowl with the other stuff. Oh, my scissors are starting to get dull. That's not good. Get me another pair of shears, kitchen shears. You want them kind of al dente when they go into the bowl. Absorb some of the moisture out of that, and then when you roll them up. So the hardest part is coming. Rolling and frying. Okay, this is what it looks like after mixing it all up. I put a tablespoon and a half of brown sugar. It said regular sugar. I don't use regular sugar at all. I don't use brown sugar at all, but if I am, I'm going to use brown sugar or organic instead of regular sugar. About a tablespoon or 2 teaspoons of Himalayan pink sea salt. About 4 or 5 tablespoons of premium fish sauce. 1 egg for binding. I was going to put 2, but 1's good enough. A little bit of minced garlic. It didn't call for that, but I threw it in anyway. And white pepper. Some white pepper. And then now it's got to get the actual skins ready. That's the hardest part. 2 clean, wet tea towels. Put the spring roll skin down. Press it. The towels are squeezed out, but they have some moisture in it. And that'll make it just pliable enough, it says, to wrap them. This is going to take a while, so let's see how I do on my first one. Wow, humongous. I barely was able to wrap it. I put so much in it, but I got way too much again. Something tells me I'm going to have to do a bunch. And I don't know how many I'm going to be able to do, but I'm going to keep going until I run out of spring rolls or run out of this meat or freeze it. But I also happen to have, let's see, I also happen to have some Vietnamese brown rice spring roll wrappers that I tried to use once before. They never really go bad, so I guess we'll see how many wraps I get. Once again, overdid it, but that's okay. It's going to probably be great. Next one. Let's see if I can show you how I'm doing. It's supposed to be, I'm going to wrap it right there and then squeeze it back and squeeze it out the sides a little. Then I'm going to fold the ends in and finish it. Well, the first 4 went in and they had bubbles on them, so I popped it with a fork. And like they said, it was a little too hot, so I turned it down. And I'm going to do this for about 5 minutes. Then turn them over a little bit. And after 5 minutes, the extra ones that you have, you can cook them just 5 minutes instead of cooking them the full 8 to 9. And you could store them that way, and they were not fully cooked, not stored fully cooked. And then when you take them out the freezer, you only have to deep fry them for another 3 or 4 minutes once they go to room temperature. Well, the second batch is looking better than the first batch because I didn't squeeze all the moisture out, so a bunch of bubbles popped up. They said if you don't squeeze a lot of the air out and leave pockets and there's too much moisture, you're going to end up with a lot of bubbles. That's why these ones are dark, and I had to pop bubbles. And then one side is darker than the other because even though it's cooked evenly, because the bubbles stuck up, and when I popped them, they absorb more oil. So it looks darker on one side than the other, but they say that's the way it's supposed to look. And this one looks a little bit more uniform. I'm getting better. I still suck at wrapping. I'm not a precision person. Anybody that knows me, about the only thing I'm a precision at is driving and shooting. That's about it. But these other things, I'm not light at hand. But it's still, I'm doing what they tell me. Hopefully it just tastes good. As long as it tastes good, I don't care if it looks kind of ugly. But that's life. Next batch. Well, my wrapping is getting a little bit better. I have to make them a little wetter so that they seal properly without leaving air gaps so I don't have to bust. You see this one, these ones have less air gaps that I had to take out. Then I got to cut one and a few to see if I cooked it good enough. Otherwise, because I cooked it less than I cooked these, at a lower, I cooked these longer but at a lower heat. These went in hotter oil, but only for 8-9 minutes. So I'm going to cut one of these and see how they fare. And the 4 on the end, they're still not done. I still got probably 1.5 right there. 4 in there. So let me add that up to see how many I'm going to have. Those are my best 4 yet. I put less in. I'm putting too much in one wrapper. That's the problem. That's affecting the different cooking times. But this one looks pretty tightly wrapped. There's almost no bubbles on this one. I'm only supposed to do that in for about 10 minutes. I think these 8-minute first ones probably be the worst ones. If they still probably taste good anyway. So I'm going to end up with 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's probably 2 in there, 17, 18. I'm going to end up with 18. Wow. I thought I was going to get like 6 to 8. Once again, I have to learn portion control. All right, the moment of truth. I got me some Vietnamese dipping sauce, some nak cham. That's a traditional that you're supposed to put on here. So it looks like a Vietnamese roll. Let's get it done. Oh, that tastes just like one. Wow. I think that's it for going to Vietnamese, Korean. Nah, I'll still go to those restaurants every now and then. And you can cook this stuff yourself. Wow. That's a good recipe because it tastes just like a Vietnamese spring roll. Except for the minced pork, I put minced ground chicken. It's not pretty looking, but it tastes good. Okay, that's the finished product. I ate like at least two already. I have some plated over there for presentation. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 left. So I ate, could be like 4. Already ate like 4 of them. I'm a pig.